Limb lengthening surgery is a long, expensive and painful undertaking, which nonetheless is growing in popularity, including here in the UK. Costing anything up to an eye-watering £120,000, it claims to be able to help patients grow by a staggering 13 centimetres taller. It was pioneered by this man, Gavril Elizarov, a Soviet doctor treating injured soldiers returning from the Second World War. A hole is drilled into the leg bone, which is then literally broken in two. A metal rod is put inside and held in place by a number of screws. It's this rod which is lengthened a little bit each day, extending until the patient reaches their desired height and their bones are finally allowed to heal back together. As a 5'7" mountain of a man myself, I can understand why people might be tempted by this kind of surgery. But taking such drastic measures for just a few inches does feel a bit extreme. Not to mention the time, the pain, and the sheer cost of the procedure, there's also the very real risk of serious complications. But some people are willing to take those risks.
Women generally don't date guys that are shorter than them, so it's kind of tough to be a guy and approach a girl that's taller than you. It's like sometimes I would fester on not being able to find a wife or thinking that girls would just like never look at me when we were out in public.
So how have you changed physically? And then as a consequence, how has your life changed?
So I started off at 5'4" is when I got the surgery done, and now I'm 5'7". And I'm not the tallest person in the room. But in terms of like perspective, like I still definitely think about height. I just think about it a lot less. And I don't think about it as me being too short anymore.
New at 6, people all over the world are enamored by a Riverdale man.
He just returned from Turkey, where he had surgery to grow from 5'5" to 6 feet tall.
I wanted to become the best version of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. And for me, that included height.
It all started in December in Turkey when Sigurs underwent his first of what will be 6 surgeries.
Surgically cut the bone, they put a rod in it, and they connect a device outside the leg that connects to the rod inside the leg, and you turn a key on it every day for 90 days.
He did that twice, once on his lower leg, again on his upper, and it cost about $80K overseas versus the estimated $150,000 he would have spent in the States.
It's called Live Life Taller. They have a rehabilitation center. They help you get back on your feet, and you're there the entire time you go through the surgery.
Sigurs spends much of his time gaining muscle back in the gym.
Hundreds of men in India have paid to have their legs lengthened. Their surgeon only operates if he believes their height is ruining their lives.
It is the society which makes them feel that, oh, you are short, and that's why everything is happening because you are short. The person cannot fight with the society and people around degrading them and creating that your height is a stigma.
But this cosmetic surgery is far from risk-free.
The most dangerous cosmetic procedure, I would say this is it.
Should a highly invasive procedure developed to correct deformities be used for cosmetic reasons?
This guy is making a special trip to Las Vegas with his wife. He's here to get taller.
If I can be taller, I want to be taller.
Ryan Wade is 5 feet 7 inches tall. He's come to orthopedic surgeon Dr. Kevin Debbie Parshad for a groundbreaking limb lengthening procedure.
After we had given you that additional height, you'd probably be sitting very close to 5'11".
Yeah.
Okay.
The procedure involves implanting a steel device into the upper bone on both legs.
We use the remote control to slowly separate the bone. This is the remote control.
The remote control signals the device to pull the bones apart, 1 millimeter at a time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
The body makes new bone to fill in the gap.
So I push this button, and then what happens?
Once you push the button, then that's when you start growing.
Awesome.
The cost? A whopping $75,000. The 32-year-old is also tired of wearing shoe implants. The procedure will add 3 inches to Ryan's height, a huge difference.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close to right there. Being taller than my wife is going to be, it'll be a treat.
I think he'll do great.
On his way to the OR, Ryan gets a good luck kiss.
I am super excited.
The doctor begins by taking precise measurements of Ryan's leg. Next, he drills into the bone, then surgically breaks the bone. He creates a channel in the thigh bone for the implant.
So you can see it kind of going right down the center of the bone.
The implanted device is secured with screws that are drilled in above and below the break in the bone. He repeats the procedure on Ryan's other leg. Finally, the remote is tested to ensure the bone is separating. Success.
The implant worked.
After 3 hours, Ryan is wheeled out of the OR. Now, 3 months of grueling physical therapy begins.
That's stiff.
Ryan's muscles need to be stretched as his bones grow.
It's hard work.
170K and 6 inches taller. That's how much this man spent on 2 leg lengthening surgeries. Moses Gibson was struggling to find a girlfriend due to his 5'5" height. He initially tried medication and consulted with a spiritual healer. After these methods failed, he opted for the more painful and expensive route, surgery. During the procedure, doctors broke Moses' tibia and fibula bones and inserted magnetic limb lengthening nails. He now uses a device 3 times a day to gradually increase his height by creating new bone tissue. And if all goes well, he'll reach a height of 5'10" or possibly even 5'11". Moses' newfound confidence has already led to a new girlfriend, and now he encourages other men considering the surgery to go for it, despite the very dangerous risks. So, what do you think? Worth getting your legs broken for a couple inches or not?